In this problem, we are looking at assigning workstations. So we want to figure out, based on the data that we've been given, how many workstations to assign, first of all, and then we want to take a look at the tasks that have been uh, given to us, and based on the information provided, assign each task to a workstation. So let's go through the tasks that we have been given, and then we'll take a look at the data that they've given us. Okay, so we're putting together a dress, and we've been given A through H tasks of each part of the dress. And so if you go through, these all make pretty good sense. First, you have to cut the body of the dress, cut the sleeves, cut the collar. And what this means is that none of those require something to be done prior to each one of those being cut out. And it gives us the task time in seconds for each one of those. But then you start to get into tasks that do require a task to be done prior to you being able to do that task. So, for example, sewing a dress body, before you can sew the body, you have to cut the body of the dress out. Sewing the sleeves of the dress, you have to do B and D before you can sew the sleeves of the dress. So you have to have cut out the sleeves and the body of the dress before you can sew the sleeves of the dress to the body, and so on and so forth. And again, each one of the task times are provided for you. So the very first step that you have to do in order to solve this problem is to find the total amount of time for all of the tasks. So in order to do that, we're just going to use our auto sum feature. Okay, and then we need to know the total time available for the work day. And of course, there's 8 hours in a day. And what we want to know, though, is the time available, however, in okay, so even though there is 8 hours in the day, what we are more concerned with is the fact that they have told us that they are making 30 dresses per hour. So we need to know, we need to translate that into the same time frame as the task time that they've given us. So they've given us a goal of 30 dresses per hour, but then they've given us task time in seconds. So we need to convert the goal to the same time frame as the tasks. So we know that there is 30 seconds in a minute and 30 minutes in an hour. So, or excuse me, 60 seconds in a minute and 60 seconds in an hour, or 60 minutes in an hour. So we're going to do 60 times 60. And that tells us the total time that we have available. 3,600 seconds is the time that we have available to accomplish our tasks. Okay, and then of course our production goal was 30 dresses. Okay, and our cycle time is going to be equal to the number of, or the amount of time that we have available divided by the number of dresses that we wanted to make, which was B 14. So our cycle time is going to be 120 seconds, which means we cannot spend more than 120 seconds at any given workstation in order to be able to make our production goal. In order to be able to produce 30 dresses in the time that we have available. We cannot spend more than 120 seconds at any one station. Now, the next thing that we need to know is 30 dresses feasible? Are we going to be able to even do 30 seconds or 30 dresses? So in order to find that out, we need to compute the maximum output. So the maximum output can be determined by taking the total available time, which is our 3600, and dividing that out by the bottleneck, or the largest task time in our lineup. And that is going to render us 36. So since this is within reason, we know that we can accomplish our goal. And lastly is our minimum number of stations. And so what we want to do here is take our total sum and divide that by our total cycle time. And you're always going to round this number up because you can't have a partial workstation. So anytime that you go over one number, you're going to automatically go up to the next number. So that would give you 4 workstations. And then we're going to assign our tasks. So you're going to do this by staying within this 120 seconds. So task or workstation 1, you would place task A, B, and C at workstation 1. None of those have predecessors, and you can stay within the 120 seconds. Okay? And then task 2, or workstation 2, you're able to put task D there. But notice on task or workstation 3, we can't go to the next 2 items there. So we would not be able to put E, F, and G under workstation number 3 because that will go over in our time. So what we have to do here is skip over E and just do F and G here. And E will have to be moved down to workstation 4. Okay, and then to find your efficiency, it's the simple calculation. You're going to be taking your total time and dividing that out by the number of workstations times your cycle time. So right now you are operating at 84% efficiency. And the balance delay is equal to 100% minus the efficiency. So that's as simple as that.